Hey friends, it is Beth with CrochetRx and Creations. Welcome or welcome back. It's been a little quiet here. There are some transitions going on, and I do have a yarn haul and 1 1/5 crochet things to show you. But first I just want to quickly explain some transitions. I think I alluded to things in the last video, which was 2 weeks ago at this point. Last weekend, my van ended up getting towed home. We were like 90% to church. Church is an hour away, and all of the warning lights went off in the van. The van is at 190,000 miles. It's really in good condition. But we had an issue in December, if you'll remember, traveling for Christmas, where at some point a mechanic put on a hose that didn't belong there and didn't fit there. And we've had some lingering problems. So whether or not this was connected to it or not, but it's at a 5th cylinder, whatever, went out. So we ended up replacing spark plugs and coils, I think they're called. This is not my world. And it seems to be okay. However, I haven't really driven it. So that was most of last week. Then, as many of you know, I'm a contract diabetes educator for a couple of different companies. And the main one, who is my main source of income, didn't pay us. We get paid once a month per our contract by a certain date, and payroll didn't go. So I don't know about y'all, but I work the least amount needed to run my household. I also homeschool my kids. I have a kid in high school, a kid in junior high. The high schooler is doing dual enrollment in college classes. We take field trips. We go to the library. We do things. And so I tend to work about 25 to 30 hours a week. It doesn't put stuff into savings, but this is time that I can't get back, or, whatever. So I work the least amount of hours needed to run my household, to pay for their competition dance, to do all these things. So there's no buffer for when you don't get paid. I can't, not everybody, you can't just call up and go, hey, I can't pay my mortgage this week because I haven't been paid. That's not how things work. And so it's been very, very stressful, very, very stressful. So I'm job hunting. It looks like for what is available and things like that, it's going to be a huge lifestyle change for our family, looking at more of a full-time position, 8 to 5, 9 to 6, with a lot less flexibility. I have self-scheduled my hours for the last 7 years, and I have not, as a nurse, we work 4/10s, we work, 3/12s. I haven't worked 5 days in a row, an 8-hour shift, since before I got married. We're looking at 18 years. The idea of not self-scheduling and having to submit PTO for all of these dance events, our travel, like driving back to the Midwest and seeing my family is like my lifeline. And having that restricted is kind of scary. So bills still need to be paid. We will see where all this goes. I have a second interview with one place on Monday. I have an initial interview with another place on Tuesday. I would appreciate any warm, happy, fuzzy thoughts, prayers, to find a position that works the best for our family. So now that the Debbie Downer stuff is out of the way, it is rainy and dreary outside today. It's a little bit dimmer in here without having the extra sunlight. But if you've seen, Premier Yarns is discontinuing some of their parfait chunky colors. And while I don't use Parfait Chunky as much as I used to, there are certain things that I still make in the Parfait Chunky quite regularly. My sunflower turtles, my daisy turtles. I do an assortment of pigs in a rainbow of Parfait Chunky colors. And so when I saw the list of discontinuing colors, I kind of panicked. And they're on sale. It's essentially buy two, get the third free, because it's $10 for a 3-pack. We're normally not on sale. They are $5 each. I usually do get them on sale, and that's usually $1 less. And this is even a better price for those limited colors. So I didn't buy all the colors. Let me pull this closer to me here. But I did get the ones that I use more frequently. So this guy, Lagoon, I purchased 2 3-packs. The Lagoon I use for my succulent turtles. This is one of the colors of the leaves. The other color that I use for my succulent turtles is this peacock. So both colors that I use for my succulent turtles are being discontinued. And I don't know what they're going to replace things with. It's hard to say. Hopefully there's something similar enough to use for the foliage for my succulent turtles. And then my daisy turtles. This is what I use, sea glass, for my daisy turtles. And I love this color. I love this color. So I got 3 packs. Do I have a place to put these? No. But I should be able to make it through this season, no issue. And I can then figure out what I'm gonna do, what colors have launched, and where to go from here. You know, this is a very mint color to where the Posh Mint could replace it. I think there's another version from Michaels of a mint color. I can't remember right offhand. I'm looking at my Posh Mint, but I'm pretty sure that's the original Posh that's on my shelf. So not quite sure there, but we'll have to look into this. I thought I heard somebody coming. Our front door lights, like the lights at the front door, went out. Sorry, my eczema is so bad and I itch so bad. I keep touching my forehead. So the front lights went out. They were here when we moved in. They are non-replaceable LEDs. And so my husband and daughter have been working on replacing those front lights, and they've been going in and out of the house. And so they've been like, come here, look at this. What do you think? Yes, no, we good to, you know, put the second one up. So I keep hearing all these footsteps and I think they're coming for me. So the last color that I got was Pink Lemonade. I don't use this as often, but I did get some. So I only got 1 pack of this. But that's that for the Parfait Chunky. Again, I don't know where these are gonna go right now. So they're just living in their box until I figure out a place for them. And then recently I was asked to do a custom order for a baby shower gift. And of course the pattern closed on me here. I was sent a picture of a finished item on Etsy and asked if I could recreate this. So there wasn't a pattern that I could find that was exact. It's essentially a large bunny ballerina doll and then a smaller version for like big sis, little sis sort of gifts. And I sent a couple of patterns to the person who ordered this, and then she ended up choosing this pattern. So this is plush bunny Annabelle. And so this is the front of the pattern there. So she wanted the colors that were in the original photo. So the colors that we came up with was Loops and Threads, Posh Pearl, and this is in Vanilla. And then the dress is Demi Pearl in Pale Lilac. So these are what came up with. So I said that I would do the pattern as written to see how large or small this comes out as. We already determined previously that I am not a good judge of size based on pictures. And again, I looked at some of the photos to make sure this was a valid pattern. I looked at some of the critiques to make sure this was a valid pattern, but not until I got into the pattern did I more thoroughly read some of these critiques. And so a number of them were, I can't believe how large this came out. So that sets this up for this. So also I embroidered eyes because she wanted it similar to the photo I was originally sent, as opposed to what would the eyes and nose that are in this pattern. So we have to back up here. Let me move my tripod. All right, so I did get interrupted there. So look at this. This is huge. So here we go. She is from my head to my waist. So let me pull you back in here. Get around my doo-doo-doo. All right, so she is massive. So the bow is from the other pattern, and so I just whipped one of those up and cinched that off. Eyes I thought were a little creepy. We put the little white specks in to make them a little less creepy. That is the nose that was requested from the other pattern. It's okay. This girl is huge. And so I messaged the person that purchased this, and I'm like, so how big is this toddler or big sister? Like, this is gonna be larger than her. She's like, she's 6, it's all good. I'm like, okay. She is 27 inches. I mean, she's like the size of a 2-year-old. So that is the big. So I am now using a smaller hook size and taking out a couple of rows for the little. So here is the size of the head for that. And I've got one leg done. So will be significantly smaller for little sis new baby. So that is what I am working on now. So I will finish the little one today and tomorrow. And because today is currently Saturday, usually I film these on Sundays, but as I go between projects and whatnot, I thought I would just film this. I will then finish this today, tomorrow, so that I can give this to her on Monday and get paid for this, because finances are a bit of a struggle this month. I placed the premiere order before I knew everything was going on. It is what it is. You know, you can only do so much, account for so much stuff. So that is what's going on. Between the van and my job, it has been a bit of a stressful month. And we're only, we're 3/4 of the way through it. We're going into the 4th week here. So that is what's happening. This upcoming weekend, we have dress rehearsal for our first dance competition. I am up to date on all of my kids' costumes. I have rhinestoned and hemmed and altered everything that I need to do. This upcoming weekend, I have been asked to assist with at least rhinestoning. Nobody has asked me to hem any more costumes right yet. So I will be doing more rhinestoning this weekend, next weekend upcoming. And then the following weekend, we have our first dance competition. So there will probably be some shorts from me, but probably not the long form video because I will be tied up. We will see what I get done. I am somewhat struggling with just being so mentally exhausted between the job search and working for a company that's not paying me, that I don't have the energy to crochet in the evenings. So I'm struggling there. I'm hoping that finishing this will give me some motivation to do one of these other patterns that I haven't done in a while or haven't made yet. I certainly have lots of cute patterns that I have not done or attempted. I also thought about making another set of these to have with inventory from a market. The price that I quoted my friend, the mom, not knowing how big these would be, is substantially less than what I would ask for out on my booth table. So I have this much left of my vanilla that I've been using. So I shouldn't need a second skein of that. And I have this left for the dress. I've already done both pink slippers, so it's just the dress now. So we will see if I end up having to get into the next skein of this for this little one, but I should have plenty to do a second set. And it's not hard. Certainly the skirt is super tedious because you're doing like double crochets, 3 double crochets in every stitch at one point. So it's just obnoxious and heavy, large, trying to spool it around. But super simple pattern. For the most part, super easy pattern to follow. As noted by some of the others, I struggled with how the skirt is written, and I kind of just interpreted it my way and did my own thing. So it's fine, came out just fine, and we'll just go from there. So it may have been a language lost in translation kind of thing, but definitely struggled with how that is written, and other reviews noted the same thing. So that is where things stand, and hopefully your February is going much smoother than mine, and I am certainly looking forward to sunnier days ahead once all of this chaos simmers down. So I hope you guys have a good week. Let me know what you're working on. Let me know what you're doing to get through some of these cloudier days, weather-wise or metaphorically. And I hope that I have better news the next time that I come out to you. You guys take care.